The Capital One Venture X is kind of a hard card to justify if you only do domestic transfers. I know there are some transfer partners like Aeroplan that make it a little bit possible, and Choice Privileges Hotel. But even though with Aeroplan it's part of the airline alliance, there is a select limited availability for bookings, and sometimes those bookings can be more expensive than just booking it directly with that airline partner. And for Choice Privilege Hotel, it's like a dime within a dozen. You might find that really good redemption value, but it might only happen one or two times. It's kind of a rare instance, versus for other transfer partners like Hyatt, it's easy to redeem, and you constantly know if you do transfer your points to Hyatt, you'll always get a really good cents per value, making Hyatt a really good transfer partner. You just don't want to think about it. Well, actually, there might be an option for the Capital One Venture X, and it's probably not what you're expecting. Wyndham Rewards, or more specifically, Vacasa. Wyndham Rewards on its own is actually really similar to the Choice Privileges Hotels cents per point. However, going through Vacasa, you'll always usually get over 1 cent per point, even close to 2 cents per point. So let's get into it, and let me explain why Vacasa may be a really powerful transfer partner. But before we get into that, you want to see me do a backflip? So I can't do a backflip, but I can show you what to look for when booking a Vacasa using your points. First thing to know when booking a Vacasa is there are two things to take into consideration: how many bedrooms you're wanting to book and the price. So first, the price. So if you book a room that is average cost, and we'll explain that later, that is $250 or less, that will cost 15,000 points. However, if you go over that $250, then it will cost
30,000 points,
up to $500. You're trying to book something over $500, unfortunately you can't use points. But that's the first standard. The second thing you need to know when booking a Vacasa is how many bedrooms you're going to be booking. For each bedroom, it doesn't matter the cost as long as it's not over $500 a night. It'll charge you per bedroom. So let's say that you book a property that is less than $250, but you want like 2 bedrooms, then it'll cost 30,000 points, 15,000 per room. If you book only 1 bedroom or less, then it will be 15,000 points as long as it's under the $250. Now you can lower the points a little bit if you have the Wyndham Earners Card, either the business or personal, doesn't matter, because they'll give you a 10% discount on point bookings. As I mentioned earlier, the average cost. So what does that mean? I think it will be easier to actually just show you. So for searching a property, you can just go to the regular Vacasa site, or you can go to the partner version, vacasa.com/partnerships- Wyndham Rewards Vacation Rentals, and I'll link that in the description below. It doesn't really matter which one you use, because unfortunately the only way to actually make a booking is to call. I know it's a little bit annoying, and I know a lot of y'all don't really like doing that, but it's not a bad call, and I'll show that later. But first, let's select a property that we're maybe interested in. So when you get onto the Vacasa page, type in the search bar where you want to go. For me, I'm going to type in Helen, Georgia, and then select the dates that you're wanting, and then after that, go into the filters. And personally for me, I like to only pay for that minimum. So 0 to 1 bedroom. So in the filters, it'll say rooms, bedrooms, you type in 0 for the minimum, and then the max is just 1. And if you have any other requirements for this property, then you would go ahead and select that in the filter. And then after you got that all sorted out, you can see the selection of the properties that you can book. You can just scroll around and see which one you like. You can click on some of them that you want to see more details on. But one thing to note that is really important is when you scroll through and you see the average cost per night. Remember, you have to keep under the $250, or if you're willing to spend a little bit more points, you have to stay under the $500 per night. Now, I will say the more nights that you plan on staying at a property, the lower the average cost per night will be, because a lot of these properties, if not every single one of them, have fixed cost. So after you found the property that you want to book, go ahead and click on that, and a new tab will open where it will show all the details on that property. And after you look through it and seen that this is the property that you're wanting to book, just go ahead and leave that tab open. You'll probably need it for later on. But for now, we'll need to figure out how many Wyndham points that you need to transfer. So this is pretty easy. All you want to do is when you're on that property's webpage, click on price details, and you can see the breakdown of everything, but what's most important is the total cost. So this is how you calculate it. You take that total and divide it by however many nights that you are planning on booking for, which will come out to $181.20 per night, which is under the $250. It's also under a single bedroom. So for 1 bedroom under $250, it's going to be 15,000 points per night. So we do 15,000 times 6, which comes out to 90,000 points that are needed to book this stay. Now, like I was saying, if you do have the Wyndham's Earner Card, business or personal or otherwise, which can give you 10% off, which will lower this booking price by 9,000 points. So in total, I'll only need to transfer 81,000 points. Okay, cool. So now you know how many points that you need to transfer. So how do you actually transfer your Capital One points? First, what you want to do is log into your Capital One account, of course. Then when you get into the home page, you'll see your rewards. Go ahead and click on that. And if you have multiple Capital One accounts, then you want to choose the Venture X or whichever card you're using. It could be the Venture One or the Venture. And then click View Account. And then your page should look like this. And what you want to hit on next is Convert Your Rewards. It'll be close to the top right in the middle right there. And when you go and click on this, sometimes it will ask you to verify. After that's all done, you should see all the transfer partners that Capital One allows. Scroll all the way to the bottom because they're in alphabetical order and click on Wyndham Rewards. Now it asks you what your Wyndham membership number is so it can transfer the Capital One Venture miles to your Wyndham account. And then you want to go ahead and type this in twice because first is just your Wyndham numbers and then the second is just a confirmation. Make sure everything's correct because it's really hard or impossible to take back a transfer. And finally, it'll ask you how many points you want to transfer. So for me, I wanted to transfer over 45,000 points and then click on Complete Transfer. And then in a couple of days or even the same day sometimes, your Wyndham points should be loaded onto your Wyndham account, therefore allowing us to go to the next step, booking your Vacasa stay.
Thank you for calling Wyndham Rewards Member Services.
May I have your member number, please? Thank you. One moment, checking on your account. As of today, your point balance is 45,000 points. And how may I help you today for Vacasa reservation?
I was hoping to book a...
May I have the listing number, please?
I think the listing number is 1079.
And what the arrival date?
October 16th to October 19th.
This is 3 nights. For how many adults and children will be checking in?
Just 2 adults.
Okay, this is a tier 1 level property for 45,000 points. Would you like me now to continue book a reservations for you at this property?
Yes, please.
Okay, just to confirm, your reservation is under listing number 1079. The points you will redeem is 45,000 points and the cancellation is 30 days prior to your arrival date. Can I place you on hold? You will receive an email confirmation number within 24 hours to 48 hours regarding your reservations details. Is there anything else, sir?
That's all for today. Thank you so much for your help. So we're finally at the cabin and it's actually pretty nice. It's a little bit small, but you know what? Just follow me. To check into one of these, it's like an Airbnb. There's a keypad code and we got sent the code. A little bit loud. So here's the cabin. It's a little bit small, but you know, for a cabin of this size, if you were to compare it to a hotel, it would be really close to a suite. This is a living room area. And then if you look right next to the living room area, there's a kitchen. So it's kind of like in between. And then back here, I was really worried about, especially for a cabin, they're not going to do housekeeping every single day. They have 6 towels for us. So we're staying here 3 days, 2 people. That's 6 towels. Perfect. Also in here, you got the glass shower, which you know is really nice. You got a toilet, you got the necessities. Even down here, they have washcloths and a hairdryer, I guess. So there's actually a lot of stuff in here. There's a workspace area over here too, so that was pretty cool. You got a full fridge. Now you're not gonna get this when you're going to a hotel, so that's definitely a plus to do the cabins, the Airbnb. However, one negative thing is that when you do leave, you have to take out your own trash. Full-size trash can, utensils, cups, some other stuff, scales, I don't even know. You got dish soap, hand soap. They even have paper towels, some garbage bags. They really had this whole thing filled up. They got more cups on this side, a Keurig, cups, a whole thing of K-cups, sugars, pretty cool, plates. And that's one thing about, you know, staying at an Airbnb. They did request us when we're leaving, wash the plates and put them back. So we do have to do that ourselves. A microwave. Oh, wow. That's a fancy microwave. Oh yeah, full-size stove right here. So that's pretty cool. Salt, pepper, knives. Oh yeah, they also have a lot of baking stuff down here too. Oh yeah, and here's all our suitcases. So there's multiple cabins on this property. It's not just one. This was the one that actually had an upstairs. The other ones just have 1 floor. This one had 2 floors. I think it's kind of nice because you have the separation between, you know, sleeping and, you know, play. So in here you got a closet. Can't really see it. It's really dark in there. Lights don't really turn on. Hopefully there's no one in there. You got games, you got a bunch of extra pillows, blankets, and everything. And you got a pretty nice bed. And then, you know, another TV. I'll definitely update you and see how this experience pans out. So overall, the cabin experience was pretty nice, but I think if you're used to hotels, it's going to be definitely a different experience. There's things that we had to get used to, like for example, the bugs, you know, cabin in the forest. Yeah, of course there's going to be bugs, but for some reason our cabin had like 15 wasps. I had to like basically smash them all night long.
Giggity.
We ran out of amenities for a 3-day stay, and I don't think there was any way to request more, so if you wanted more stuff, you would have to go by the nearest Dollar General. But overall, I think it was all right. You know, it was fine, especially for a $250 room and paying with points. I didn't have to pay with cash. You get a room basically the size of a suite, plus a bunch of other amenities like a fireplace, the game room. So overall, I think it's a pretty good way to use your points. Also, Helen was pretty nice. I don't think you could spend like more than 2 days there. It's a pretty small town, but there are other towns around the Helen area that made it pretty nice experience. There's a lot of vineyards, so definitely check this out. And I'll see you later.